Some startups go up, others go down. Welcome to GeekWire's Elevator Pitch, where 3 entrepreneurs pitch their businesses in the 48 seconds it takes to get to the top of Seattle's first skyscraper, the Smith Tower. Over the course of 9 episodes, we'll narrow the field from 27 entrepreneurs to 1 winner. In this episode of Elevator Pitch, presented by Smartsheet, we'll hear from 3 startup founders as they pitch their emerging businesses to our panel of leading investors and entrepreneurs. Stephen Branstetter, an angel investor and vice president at Smartsheet. He caught the entrepreneurial bug in college and sold his first startup to Active Network. Heather Redman, power broker and former Getty Images executive, who cuts deals as the managing director of venture capital firm Flying Fish Partners. Richard Tate, the motorcycle-riding Scotsman and mastermind behind the hit board game Cranium, who now stirs up new ideas inside Starbucks. The clock is ticking. Jump on board and ride with us on the elevator pitch and find out which entrepreneur has what it takes to make it to the top.
Hi, I'm Ed Windgate with Mosaic.AI.
Welcome to Smith Tower.
If you work for a living, you need Mosaic.AI to be your career agent. It'll use its machine learning and artificial intelligence abilities to compare your resume to jobs to help you understand what keywords and concepts are missing that you need in your resume to get past the HR screening software. What's also great is it'll help you prepare for conversations like the big one, the job interview. You'll have confidence by knowing what your strengths are and what topics may be discussed. And in addition to comparing your resume to jobs you find, employers also post jobs which you can compare your resume to and also be matched for skill and culture. Mosaic.AI is available on browsers, smartphones, and chatbots. For example, just say, "Hey Google, find me a job in Seattle."
What do I have to do as a customer to match with Mosaic?
Part of the business model is for companies to post jobs. If that's what you're asking, is for the companies. And that's pretty simple. The old saying is that build it, they will come. HR is desperate nowadays to find a new way to find good talent. So that's we have not found that to be a problem is attracting companies. The hard part, it's not really that difficult, but the challenge, the work involved, is building a big enough community that makes it viable and people can find there and find good people. So that's what we're focusing on, is making tools, a community, resources that is really AI driven and helps anticipate or predict what you'll be looking for, so you can feel confident no matter where you are, at work, using a browser, on your phone, in the car, on the bus, I should say, or you just want to talk in your home. Hey, Mosaic.AI, do I have any new jobs that are a match for me today? Or what has people been talking about me? How do I look to other people? What should be in my resume? What's new? What's happening? You can have conversations. Also, some cars also have Alexa and Google built in, so that'll be the future.
So you mentioned that it's not hard to get businesses to buy in. What type of traction do you have so far?
Well, we have a couple hundred clients who are using some of our enterprise tools, mosaictrack.com. We're having people who are posting jobs, but we're really keeping it limited, more of a beta right now, because we just launched Mosaic.AI the chatbot last week, and the application left beta about 3-4 months ago. So we're just kind of trying to be careful and go slow. And so that hasn't been a problem.
So is the product the sort of chat-based or mobile-based, browser-based, quick check-in on, like, hey, is there a job for me, kind of a thing, just making the barriers to job search really low? Or is the product more of a B2B product where you're saying we have the AI to really be able to intelligently match jobs with people? And because that seems to me, and I'll get criticized by my colleagues here for trying to morph somebody's business, but to me, it seems like trying to aggregate all of the job seekers in the world is a job that other people have already done. And so being able to say to those folks, hey, here is something that will now automate the matching of those things in a better way would make a lot more sense. Plus you have the cold start problem of, until you have a ton of data and a ton of closed loop feedback on whether the match worked, you don't really have a great AI system. So can you talk me through sort of your
Sure.
approach there?
We actually started out with Mosaic.com, which is exactly what you described. It's a business application that sorts through all the applicants and all the resumes companies get. And we actually are profitable and have companies from universities to recruiting firms that use this for scientific placements on college students. And it's very useful because well, the numbers, lots of people looking for work. Recruiters are about 5 to 10% effective in actually getting an interview request. We found that we're 80% effective. So when people use our tools and submit it to the hiring teams, they get interview requests. So obviously retention, all those metrics are very valuable. So we started Mosaic.AI because a lot of people we found out, and it's commonly known, that their resumes aren't that great. And they need help and confidence in the job search. So we started that route, and yeah, I agree, it is a challenge, but so far we're doing very well. So we're happy about that.
Is the focus on the matching, or is the focus on providing training, guidance, insight into how to make my resume better?
Mainly the matching, because we find that people just really enjoy just being shown why they're a good match and helping them prepare and then apply. We, even in the chat, they'll say, okay, this sounds great, apply to the job, apply to the job. And companies, to your point, is that they would like to have a qualified applicants, because a lot of applicants are just really not qualified. So we help pre-qualify that. So maybe less people applying, but much better candidates.
What's been the pivot? Like, has there been something that you've really been challenged with and had to overcome?
It hasn't really been a pivot. It's just that we found, well, nothing really wrong. It's just we found new opportunities. It's, for us as a small startup, I'll just be honest, it's a difficult sales cycle for corporations. They need to be convinced. There's a fear of losing their jobs. That is always a problem. But we found that with Mosaic.AI, there is really no fear. People are happy with posting a job. They're used to that. That's common. They'll do that. And they want better candidates. So it's no issues. And consumers, they love being able to have an advocate on their side, which currently doesn't really exist much.
So you referenced already having a successful product out there that you mentioned was profitable. What's preventing you from scaling that product?
We just like to help people, and we find that we work well together because it's sort of like a dead end. People like the scaling our Mosaic Track product, but then they're like, well, where do we go from here? And like you mentioned, there's already like LinkedIn and different aggregates out there, but they keep it very closed. You don't have access to that. So we figure, well, hey, a lot of companies are asking us, hey, can you help our career board? We'd like to have a chatbot on our career board. We would like to have all these different tools on our career board to help people apply to our company. So we're like, well, we have the technology. Why not just repurpose it for people now too? So yeah, so we figured that that's just, and maybe we're being too much geeks. Maybe we should spend more time marketing. But we found that it's often good to do sort of what Google does and other companies do, is provide tools people want and use, because that way they feel more comfortable. We provide a nice environment for people so that we don't have to like advertise to them, but they feel like they just naturally want to come in, have a seat, and use our tools. Like you come into a cafe that you like, instead of making them buy your something.
Tough space.
They have traction, but I feel the desperate need for a marketer.
I was concerned with the lack of interest in selling. They're very much product focused, and it sounds like they have some good ideas there, but you got to sell something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We see a lot of pitches in this space, how to either make hiring decisions better, increase retention, train managers to, be better so that they can increase retention and hire better. There's a million folks going into HR and trying to sell right now, and I think that that's probably what he's experiencing. It is a very long sales cycle. I don't think it's fear of losing jobs. It's just that you can't keep buying more and more product if you're in that sector. This idea of going to the consumer, again, screams for a marketer because, how are you going to get all those folks?
And it's expensive to build the brand, to build awareness, to build that trust.
Well, and you don't have any, maybe they've got some models and data they can port over from their existing enterprise business, but to really have something that works on an AI level with consumers, you've got to have a ton of data. So they have very much the cold start problem with their consumer database.